Welcome back to the Pioneers Sideline, episode 161. Now we're going to talk about the women's side. We just broke down the men's side there. The women, they had their last week of regular season play here, and it started off really well last Tuesday. They're defeating Salem International, keeping their winning streak going, keeping the winning ways and the winning vibes feeling good as that team would go down to Salem International in West Virginia and defeat them. A big win there, continuing the good progress we have seen out of them. We're going to take you that score now as the Pioneers would win that one by easily by a big margin there. 78-56, the Pioneers would win that one. As we see Shartner with 12 points, Savitsky with 9 points, Austin with 15, Davis with 18, and McFadder putting up the 20 spot. Pioneers move up to 21-5 on the year, 10-4 in the conference. Sam Nash, not really much of a presence there. We're bringing our women's analyst here, Tim Hardy. And Tim, you see the Pioneers, just the winning vibes, and really good to get back on a winning note after taking a hard loss to Berea College this last weekend.
Yeah, I will have to agree there, Chris. Just being able to just bounce back and be able to find a way to win that game after coming off of that rough loss, it really brings a lot of hope to it. And just being able to find different ways to score and being able to help the team later on during it also.
Yeah, the Pioneers there, a big win there, and you see that McFadder really getting involved, and you see a lot of players getting involved. We've seen that recently where they haven't had as much team involvement recently. It's been one player really trying to carry this team, but we saw everybody unite as one big team, and it really paid off for them.
Yeah, Chris, I would just say, just when it comes to Point Park women's team, they play a lot good, and this along with chemistry, just everybody contributes, and that's one of the good things about this Point Park team, being able to find different ways to score, and just being off of one of the big leaders of the group, Austin, Shartner, McFadder. No matter one of them two, they're always leading their team and making sure they can help their team out.
And Pioneers, they would continue their conference play and go to play crosstown rival Carlo University. That's always a hang banger of a game there between those two as KIAC rivals, former AMC rivals as well. We're going to take it to the score there as the Pioneers would win a very scrappy game there at Carlo University, played out just up the street from Point Park. You see there's Shartner with 14, Savitsky 14 rebounds, Davis 15 points, 8 boards, McFadder 19 points, 9 rebounds, moving the Pioneers up to 22-5 on the year, 11-4 in the conference. But once again, this was another one of those games where Carlo was in it for a while there, but you saw the Pioneers once again just come away at the end, but moving forward they're a little worrying there. You see they let Carlo hang around just a little too long for comfort.
Yeah, they let them hang on a little bit too comfort for a little bit too long there. Just being able to only win there by 9 is just a really good win by Point Park in general. That being their rival, they found a way to win the game, and that's a good thing that happened for Point Park in the end.
Yeah, you mentioned a rival there in Carlo University, a very big, usually a very tough physical matchup there, Tim. And how big is it for the Pioneers to go on the road and really take it to Carlo in their home gym?
Well, it's very good when it comes to Point Park being able to find a way to win away from their home, even though it's like right down the street. But just find a way to win in a tough environment, being their rival, just being able to find another way to win really helps with Point Park because right now they have bragging rights when it comes to them two teams right now being the rival.
Yeah, very tough matchup both times. The Point Park Pioneers were able to come out and play well there. They'd finish up their regular season on Saturday, traveling down to West Virginia Tech. A very tough matchup the first time. We're going to take you the score here as the Pioneers would fare unlucky in their season finale here this past Saturday. A very tough defeat to a team they beat earlier this year. The Pioneers would go down there. West Virginia Tech would take care of business, winning that one 61-45. McFadder, the only double-digit scorer there for the Pioneers. And you look at the other side there, West Virginia Tech, they were missing their leading scorer in that first game, Sturdivant, and then you see how big of an impact she played in that second game, leading all scores of 24 points, giving West Virginia Tech the big edge in that matchup there, Tim.
It shows how big she really was and just being able to make sure West Virginia Tech was able to win. And this also shows how inconsistent Point Park is when it comes on the scoring end of the ball. Just the defense well, but when you have no offense, you really can't do much with it.
Yeah, the offense not really there, only scoring 45 points, and especially the defense. That's the first time they've allowed over 60 points in quite a while. They've been holding teams to almost under 55 for the last couple weeks. But a good job there by the defense, still only holding them to 61. But Tim, you mentioned the offense. It's been a bit of a roller coaster this season of what you're going to get from them on a consistent basis.
Yeah, it's a bit of a scare when it comes to Point Park, just being able to find a way to just keep getting points on the board. You know, you will hope that the defense plays good enough to make sure they win all their games. But if their defense isn't there, as we've seen there, and let the team score over 61, just being able to not play right, you can see easily how bad it could get for Point Park.
Now, Tim, what do you need to see more out of the offense as we move into the KIAC tournament here? The offense, we mentioned it's got a little bit of a roller coaster ride with them this season, but what really is the big key point for them to really just be unified? We've seen it earlier this year when they have the whole offense there. They're a really strong team, but it's just been inconsistent the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, the key players just need to make sure they could be able to score. You know, McFadder, only person who had double digits during that game, and just being Austin and Shartner. If all them players can work, unite, have a good game for themselves, everybody else kind of rolls in right with them. You know, Davis ends up scoring a lot of points off of them because usually the double teams come to the main players. And if they can find different ways just to get other people involved, but first get their star players involved, they should be fine.
Now we're going to take a look at the standings here. This was the first year in the KIAC conference for the women as well. And they came to play, and they played well. For as much as that loss against West Virginia Tech hurts them, we're going to take a look at the standings to show you how they finished. And Point Park is going to be the regular season champs. 10-4 overall in the conference there. 20-5 on this season. So they're going to win it out there. Pioneers, great job there in their first year in this conference. They're expected to finish third there, Tim. Pioneers felt they were better than that, and they came out this year and they proved it.
Yeah, they proved it a lot there, just being able to come out here and be able to win the conference. That brings a lot of good energy to the team and being able to find a way. Hopefully they can roll that going down into the playoffs.
You mentioned exactly. How big is that for the Pioneers to feel like the dominant team here moving into the playoffs? Especially they've seen most of these teams and just about swept everyone in the conference this year.
Yeah, they mostly swept every team when it comes to in the conference, being able to find different ways to score and all that. But also, Point Park needs to make sure they don't let everything down on that end either, because they need to make sure they keep playing consistent. As easily like you've seen there in the West Virginia Tech game, they can have a bad game shooting, and then during the defensive end, they not be able to stop them good enough. If you can't play good enough offense to help your defense out, you will not be able to win games. Good stuff there, Tim. We're going to take another short commercial break. Tim Hardy will still be here. We're going to bring back Kelsey Metzger as well. We're going to look at the road ahead and preview the KIAC tournament for both the men's and women's teams. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Pioneer Sideline here on UView.